Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Week 2 of the You're Wrong podcast. I'm Gavin. This is Kyle.
So what we're going to do today is start off with a quick intro of our best bets and how we did this weekend. Then I'm going to introduce the topics. And then Gavin's going to do his beer of the week. We'll go through. We got a variety of different topics we'll do. Rookie quarterbacks, the Raiders game against the Dolphins. We got a lot to cover. So we probably should start with Gavin's beer of the week. Get that out of the way. I decided not to do it this week. I'm going to the gym after this. I know. Call me soft, whatever. But he's going to do it anyway.
I'm going to the gym as well after this. Don't worry. I'm devoted. This week we got New Belgium's Voodoo Ranger, Imperial. It's 9%.
Is that what you had when we were golfing the other day?
Yes. It's very good beer. It'll get you right. You have a couple of these, you'll be rocking.
You didn't have the tall boys on with golf, did you?
No.
All right, so he's going to start with that beer rating. So we'll get going. So the topics we're going to go through today, we're going to start with, is it time to panic on all these rookie quarterbacks? And then we're going to transition into Justin Tucker, his record-breaking field goal kick. Then we're going to go into Dolphins-Raiders game, whether Tua lost the team, and also whether Derek Carr provided another MVP-caliber game or not. Then we'll go into the Rams-Bucks game, whether the Rams are legit or the Bucks just aren't there yet. And then we'll see if it's time to press the panic button on the Chiefs. And then we'll go for, so each of us pick the surprise for the weekend. We'll finish with those, and then we'll finish with our power rankings 1 through 5 in the NFL. So without further ado, we'll start with the rookie quarterbacks. Gavin, we'll start with Trevor Lawrence. Do you think it is time to press the panic button on Trevor Lawrence?
No.
Explain.
Nope. He's not on a good enough team. It's like, you can't expect a player, don't get me wrong, he's at Clemson, but the talent around him, look how many people went to the NFL from there. He can't just walk on to a Division II school and go play against a Division I school, which is the rest of the NFL, basically. It's not time to panic. He's fine. He'll get his shit together. Urban Meyer, also new coach, not an NFL coach. I don't think he'll be in the NFL for long anyway. But Trevor Lawrence definitely can collect himself and start getting shit going. But he's not where he should be, being the first overall pick. I'll give him that. There is some worry there, but not time to panic. We're not panicking yet.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think it's time to panic. I think this week he might have improved slightly. His career so far, he's averaged passer rating. It's okay. He's averaged a completion percentage of 54%. This week he completed 64% of his passes. He went for 219 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. And the biggest thing with the quarterback that's a rookie is everyone looks at the turnovers, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing for Zach Wilson. Everyone looks at the turnovers. But you got to understand, man, it's the NFL. They're rookies. They're on the worst teams. These teams picked them because they're the worst team.
Yeah, they had the best picks.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't just make them better right away. So it's going to take time. And I think Trevor Lawrence is a perfect example of that. We know the talent he is. If you look at Clemson right now, right?
They're garbage.
And that's what I'm saying. So clearly it's not like, it was an Alabama thing where they just have all the best players and it's a schematic thing. Like, yes, they're the most talented team in the ACC. But clearly it's not their scheme.
ACC is not the SEC.
ACC.
ACC is not the SEC.
No. But clearly it's not their scheme because it had to have been Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. So I agree. It's not time to press the panic button on them.
I got to add, regardless, they did not play well. The score does not depict the game.
They did not.
The Cardinals gave up a pick 6, and they had the kick return, which we'll get to later, that they gave up on a field goal, 60-yarder. But that's news for later. That's a little bit of hatred there.
Here's another thing, too. I think this upcoming Thursday night game against the Bengals will be a real test for Trevor Lawrence.
It'll be a better showing. It's more of a level playing field,
exactly.
I would say.
Right. The Bengals are a middle-of-the-pack defense. Last year, I would have said they're one of the worst in the league. They've made some improvements this year. They look like they've been doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers' offense stinks, but they look like they've, had pretty good first 3 games. So it'll be interesting to see him compete against Joe Burrow, who's another one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. So that'll be a fun game. So move on to Zach Wilson, and I'll let you start again. I'm not going to take it to heart what you say, so go ahead about Zach Wilson.
I'm not panicking on him either. Hey, I don't like the Jets, but he's also got nothing around him. No one's really helping him. The offensive line is terrible. He's getting pressured, but he just has to be more consistent with the ball. He has to be safer, more protective. He's just getting scared, throwing the ball, not in good place. Like, he's overthrowing people. He's underthrowing people. The sidearm, he's not stepping up to throw the ball in the pocket. He's trying to play like he did at BYU. It's not college. You're not playing against – you're not in Mormon land anymore, buddy. You gotta start playing like an NFL quarterback.
Now, see, what I observed was, I mean, I don't know if you watched the whole game, but I mean, you were here at my house, so you watched the majority of it. His receivers had another 4 drops this week.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. It's not his fault. It's not all his fault, but he's also overthrowing, and he's not stepping into the.
And I agree. It's not time to press the panic button on him either. And that's not even the Jets fan speaking. Like, the kid has talent. Has he made some dumb throwing decisions? Yes. Has he been wildly inaccurate on some checkdowns that he should complete 10 out of 10? Yes. At the same time, like you said, their offensive line, I think this week, they didn't have one lineman graded by PFF over 62%, which is atrocious.
Their offensive line is terrible.
The rookie left guard from USC, Elijah Vera Tucker, had a 42%. So,
and they play the Broncos. The Broncos' defense is unbelievable. I mean, they haven't played anybody too great, but they're pretty good. And they're in Denver.
I think he went 2 for 11 when he got pressure in his face this week, which is it's not. I mean, as an NFL quarterback, you have to learn to throw pressure in your face. At the same time, I think I also saw a stat. He had an average of 1.7 seconds from snap to the time he got the ball off, or the time he got hit, I should say.
Yeah.
1.7 seconds. That's the lowest in the league this week.
Yeah, well,
that's worse than Justin Fields.
That's the Denver Broncos defense and how bad the Jets offensive line is.
And I don't think the play calling was good either. I think, and I hate that excuse. I hate the play calling excuse. I think it's just
true.
It's a bailout call, but I'm going to use it. I think Mike LaFleur, just third game as an offensive coordinator. You're not in San Fran anymore. You don't have that offensive line. I think you need to find ways to get Zach Wilson out of the pocket on boots. Yeah. You know. Play actions. Find a way to move the pocket, get him out of the pocket. That's what he thrived on best at BYU. So if you're not going to do that, why'd you even draft him?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to keep him straight up in the pocket, why wouldn't you have drafted Mac Jones over him? Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he showed himself to have a good arm in college, but we'll get past
that. He succeeded outside the pocket. But yes, so we'll move on to...
Not panic time. Not panic time.
Agreed, not panic time. We'll move on to Justin Fields. Panic or no?
He looked horrendous. He had a couple good throws, but in the first half, I think he had under 100 yards. I think he had 60-something yards. It wasn't good. It wasn't nice. He doesn't have time either. He doesn't have the weapons. And, I mean, they played the Browns. The Browns' defense is pretty good, but you really think that he wants to show himself because he got his opportunity to start. Andy Dalton's hurt, obviously.
I think he's coming back this week.
He needs to come back.
If Matt Nagy says it's a three-way competition this week.
It should be. Nick Foles is not a bad quarterback. Justin Fields did not showcase himself well at all this week. I was disappointed. I thought he was going to try and prove himself, but he did nothing to impress me.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't want to say it's time to panic on him yet, but I think out of all the quarterbacks, and it might not make much sense because he played the least amount of games, but I think for him, at least in this system, it might be time to at least look at the panic button. He had 30% completion percentage with 68 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Yeah. 30%, like,
that's ridiculous.
I understand you have pressure in your face. Like, Myles Garrett had 4.5 sacks. Dude's an animal. I understand your pressure in your face.
You got to give it to the Browns defense too, but your quarterback.
And it has to go with play calling, and it has to go, but also has to go with.
He's a mobile quarterback. He can move.
That's what I'm saying.
He can move. He can read defenses.
And he also has to call the protection that best suits him. You know, cover your blind spots. You don't get hit by if Myles Garrett's back there.
None of these guys are doing it. None of these rookies are doing it. They're all disappointing the shit out of me. This is a joke. To have that many quarterbacks come out of the first round, they're all playing that bad.
30% is low, dude. That's one of the lowest I've seen in a long time for a quarterback who played a whole game.
I'm convinced I could go out there and throw for 30%.
No, I'm convinced you would not complete one pass.
I probably would go 8 for 10. 8 for 10. Quarter, 8 for 10. 160, 2 touchdowns, done.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I'm not going to say it's time to panic, but I heard Dan Orlovsky say today, if it's inevitable, Dan Orlovsky's my guy. Smartest man in football besides Louis Riddick.
Okay.
But if you're going to do it, if it's inevitable, as in Matt Nagy being fired, just get it out of the way, right? So if you're going to fire him at the end of the year,
who are you going to hire?
I don't know. That's not my job.
Yeah, no, but you want to
hire someone from within.
But they're also going through changes. They haven't had a consistent roster on offense, defense, anything. They're just changing everything. They keep alternating.
Okay, but the GM and the head coach are both going to be gone at the end of the year together.
And I don't argue that.
So why not get rid of them now? It's clearly not helping Justin Fields.
It's more of a recruiting thing at this point. So you can start trading players away. But whatever, it's still early.
Moving on to the last one, the last rookie quarterback. I want to start on this one because you're a Patriots fan. So Mac Jones. Is it time to press the panic button on him? No, of course not. We went no on every single rookie quarterback, but it's week 3. You should not be panicking on any rookie quarterback. I know I said maybe Justin Fields, but we should not be panicking. I'm obviously not a fan of Mac Jones. I said it in the last episode. I think all he does is check down. He's afraid to drive the ball down the field. And that might be because of the system. And it probably is. 58% completion percentage this week. It's okay.
It's not bad.
It's okay.
It's not great.
The Saints defense is okay, but it's not. It's middle of the pack.
All around, Pats played terrible yesterday. So that's
one touchdown and 3 picks.
One touchdown and 2 picks.
No, it was 3 picks.
That third
because
one
Zach Wilson's game against the Patriots.
I said one of them
right,
didn't count,
but they still said it was 4 picks on TV.
Yeah,
they didn't go on and say, "Oh, Zach Wilson throws 3 picks. Corey Davis drops another."
But one of them was clearly just tossed to the
Jonnu Smith. You guys signed Jonnu Smith in the offseason. I didn't like the signing to begin with. I thought Hunter Henry was enough.
Hunter Henry's a good sign. Johnny Smith.
I'm not going to panic on Mac Jones. However, by this time in about 4 weeks, if we get to like week 7, and he's still averaging 2.5 yards per pass in the air, then I'm going to start to panic because, like Zach Wilson's having a bunch of turnovers right now, throwing a bunch of picks. He's throwing a pick in every game, but at least he's learning what he can and cannot do in the NFL, and when he cannot take that shot or take that chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mac Jones, right? I was at the game last week, obviously. They ran a trick play. You know that trick play? Mac Jones checked down on a trick play.
Hey.
He tracked down on a trick play. He had a guy wide open in the corner of the end zone.
Zach Wilson would have thrown a pick.
That doesn't matter, though.
It does, though.
It doesn't. If you're checking down on a trick play, what is the point of a trick play? If it's open. If it's not open. But it wasn't.
Zach Wilson would throw it in the
That's my point. He had a guy open in the end zone.
Off.
The primary target was open in the end zone.
Okay.
And he just didn't throw it because he didn't feel comfortable driving the ball.
Well, if he doesn't feel comfortable making the throw and he thinks he can mess it up, I'd rather have him throw it to a safe spot, get a couple yards instead of getting picked off.
Yeah, and ideally, I agree. But when you're averaging 2.5 yards in the air per pass, that to me is a red flag. That to me tells me you don't want to drive the ball down the field.
That's the way they're babying the system.
You can go back through Tom Brady's career. I guarantee you, at no point in Tom Brady's career did he ever average 2.5 air yards per pass. I guarantee you he didn't. And I will fact check that after the show.
You can't compare anybody to someone at that level, especially in their first 3 games, regardless. What? You can't compare Mac Jones to Tom Brady at any point.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying he played in the same exact system, same coaches and everything.
So, system's changed. It's not Tom Brady anymore. They definitely started to be.
No, it's not. But they have similar play style, do they not? All right, anyway, we'll move on. Whatever. We're not panicking on any of the rookie quarterbacks yet. It's only week 3.
We're just disappointed. We're not mad.
We didn't think they would start this bad, but they've managed to. So moving on.
Disappointing.
So Justin Tucker, record-breaking field goal this week, 66-yarder to beat the Lions as the clock expired. Now
that's the Lions' way to lose a game.
It is.
I respect every Lions fan out there. That's how it goes. It's the Lions' way to
just
lose
as bad as being a Jets fan.
No, but I respect Lions fans.
Okay. Beats Matt Prater's record 64-yard field goal in 2013. I walked into the house.
Prater made that kick in Denver, though.
Yeah, so I guess it doesn't count, but it does. It's still a record.
Yeah, it's a record.
I walked into my house, coming back from his house, watching the Patriots, getting ready to watch the 4 o'clock games. I turn on Red Zone. All I see is Justin Tucker, 66-yard field goal attempt, and he hasn't kicked it yet. And I'm like, oh my god. I know he's the best kicker in the league, but there's no shot. All of a sudden, I see he kicks it. The linemen are going like this. I'm like, no way. Hits the crossbar, bounces through. My jaw dropped. I sat there like, oh my god.
The fact that it hit the crossbar,
66
that makes
yards.
it so much better. Like if he just cleared it, it'd be
so
like
much better.
But crossbar.
You got to write that man Justin Tucker a blank check because he just saved you from embarrassing yourself and losing to the Detroit Lions. You should write that man a blank check.
66-yard field goal because most teams
66-yard field goal.
Most teams don't attempt that.
It took a record-breaking field goal to beat the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff at their
in the fourth quarter. Up until that point in the fourth quarter in OT, I think he made 49 straight field goals.
Probably something like that.
And that was 50. That's a way to get to 50, buddy. That's
he's undebatably the best kicker in the league right now. I still all time I still would not put him over Adam Vinatieri. I wouldn't yet. He's on his way.
Well, because Adam Vinatieri's had the
like a 20-year career where
he's had the moments.
Right, that too, and he was the most consistent kicker in the league for about 15-year period.
Played till he was like 43.
Exactly. So the next topic we're going to cover is Tua versus Jacoby. I screwed that up. So it'll be, Tua versus Jacoby. We'll start with the Dolphins quarterback controversy. Moving forward, if you're Brian Flores, right, we watched the Raiders-Dolphins game together.
You need more time. You got to baby it back. You don't bring Tua back.
Who are you starting next week? If Tua was healthy. He's not.
Even if Tua is healthy, you don't say he's healthy. You got to roll on in. You got to be like, Tua is questionable. We want to baby him back to the system. We want to get him full go before he gets a chance. And if Jacoby shows out next week, like he could, which I mean, Jacoby Brissett, New England guy, of course.
I don't know what you just said about slowing him back into it. He's a starting quarterback for a year and a half. Why would you slow him back?
But it doesn't matter. Jacoby Brissett just showed himself he played pretty well. First half, rough. picked it back up, continued. He played very well.
My argument is, after watching that game, yes, it doesn't look flashy. 65% completion, 215, no touchdowns.
It doesn't matter.
He had a rushing touchdown, but it's not a flashy stat line. But if you watch the game,
you don't need a flashy stat line. You want to play
watch
well.
the game, you see that Jacoby Brissett is a better leader for that team right now.
Yeah,
They're a playoff team, dude. They're talented.
They have a good defense.
They have a top 5 defense in the league. They have weapons now, a receiver.
Yeah. They just can't have a quarterback turn the ball over. So I mean,
it's not even the turnovers. Tua again. To me, he's a game manager. He's not gonna go win you a game. Is Jacoby Brissett gonna win you a game? Maybe not.
Debatable.
But if you watch the end of that Raiders game, he definitely went out there and put his best effort in to bring you back. You know, a rushing touchdown to tie the game.
My biggest thing is he's bigger. He's bigger and he's not fragile.
I think he's smarter. I think he's
Tua
smarter.
is fragile. That dude gets hurt.
If I'm the Dolphins, I am looking at all my options next year at starting quarterback. I don't know if you bring in Cam Newton or if you trade up in the draft. You have a roster that's ready to compete right now. You're missing the most primary piece. You need to move on from Tua, in my opinion.
I mean, it's still early in his career too, so I don't want to make any judgments.
You're right. It is early, and I'll give you that. But I'm notoriously not a Tua guy.
I just say you don't rush Tua back. You see what Jacoby can do for you in your system. I mean, you got a decent team. Definitely a wild card.
Jacoby's young too. Like, who's to say you don't roll with Jacoby?
I don't have a problem
for the next 2 weeks if he does well. Who's to say you don't?
That's why I'm saying they got to give him more opportunity. If Tua's healthy to go, I mean, I think you still wait on.
He's a serviceable backup quarterback.
Yes,
that makes sense. All right, so in the same game, your boy Derek Carr, who you had the audacity to go on here, and
he got over 375, buddy. Where's my $50?
You said he was better than Josh Allen. Okay, you had that audacity.
Josh Allen showed out this week.
So I'm gonna let you take this Derek Carr segment, right? Talk about what you saw from Derek Carr this week and how it may have.
His pick that he threw in the first quarter, junk. That was just a bad play, bad read, awful throw. He just threw it right to the defense. I'm gonna forget about that. That's first quarter mistake. It happens. It happens. You gotta get used to the defense.
Forget about
the Dolphins have a good defense. Yeah,
no, just forget about pick sixes that get you in a hole to start the game. That makes sense.
Hey, they came back and won, didn't they? It doesn't matter if they won the game.
They did. They didn't cover though.
Yeah, but I said money line. I bet a money line. It worked for me. But either way, Derek Carr threw over 375. You were wrong. He threw 380.
Oh, speaking of which, did we go over our best bets? I think we skipped that.
Yes, best bets. Derek Carr, I just said that. The Raiders. I said money line. They covered that. The spread was -4 at the time of the game. Ended up being a 3-point game, but I said money line, so I won that. Cardinals, they disappointed me. They should have beat them by a lot more.
Somehow covered.
They covered.
So Gavin is 2-0 to start the year. I went 2-1. I had Panthers -7. Bought the hook. They covered either way, whether you had it 7 or 8. I lost on the Rams under with the Bucks. 58 total. I got it. I was 55, so I was close, but a loss is a loss. And then my play of the week, I said Saints +3.5. Sprinkled the money line. Both of them hit. So I finish at 2-1, and we are going to keep track as the season goes on. So Gavin's technically ahead of me by half a game right now if you were in standings.
Yeah.
But back to the Derek Carr.
Josh Allen played better than Derek Carr. I'm gonna give you that. Josh Allen played well.
That's a guilty conscience right there, guys. That's Gavin's guilty conscience speaking.
That's not a guilty
I didn't even mention Josh Allen yet, and you just brought him up.
Well, because that was the whole argument. Josh Allen played phenomenal.
Well, I wanted you to analyze Derek Carr. I wanted you to analyze how he played. And how
Derek Carr played good. He had a stupid mistake in the first quarter. Threw a pick. Other than that, 308. I mean, they used to throw the ball 45 times to do anything because that offense is.
They have no run game. I'm pretty sure they had a 100-yard rusher this week. Peyton Barber, I think.
Doesn't matter. The run game is not where it needs to be because if Derek Carr is throwing the ball 40 times in a 20, they score 29 points, that should be happening.
Yeah, I know.
You don't. That's not a stat. That's not a thing. They should be up to.
So let me ask you a question while we're still on Derek Carr conversation. Is he still your MVP candidate right now?
I'm going to stick with him. I think.
You're going to stick with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh Allen, my MVP lines. I mean, Josh Allen is up there. Obviously, Derek Carr is there. Matthew Stafford, as you said before, competing for it. They're all right there.
So for you guys,
Josh Allen though his numbers are better in my opinion.
Josh Allen's numbers aren't as close as you think. Josh Allen has 400 less passing yards.
Yes, but
however, here's Derek Carr's stats throughout the first 3 games of the year. Okay, he has 1,200 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks, 64% completion percentage. He is first in the league in passing yards. Impressive. I think he's third in attempts. If I had to go look, actually he's second behind Brady.
Yeah.
6 touchdowns. Okay, but that's good. That's a good 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. But is 2 touchdowns a game gonna win you the MVP? No.
No. That's what I'm saying. We've got it's build up. Week 3.
Right. So he's first in passing yards. He's tied 11th in touchdowns throughout the league. Second in attempts behind Brady, as I said. And then I personally would put him 4th in MVP voting right now. I would put Matthew Stafford at 1. Matthew Stafford, 70% completion percentage through 3 games, 9-1 touchdown interception ratio, 942 yards. What more could you ask for?
That's just an ode to how Matthew Stafford was just stuck in a bad system.
Oh, yeah. I've been a Matthew Stafford guy my whole life. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I put Brady 2. I'd put Josh Allen 3 for now. I mean, I guess you could put them neck and neck, but I would put Josh Allen over Derek Carr.
I'm okay with that for now. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue that.
All right, and we'll come back to it. You have the whole rest. You have the rest of the time. But Derek Carr, I would definitely put it 4 because he earns it as much as I hate your take.
Josh Allen played unbelievable this weekend. Yeah, the Bills' defense is. Oh.
I've been trying to tell you and Jared that.
Whatever.
And you guys don't buy it. Hey. But all right, so we'll go to the Rams-Bucks game while we're on the topic. Rams-Bucks.
Rams just outplayed them. The Bucks' defense is not proving themselves.
Let me ask you a question. Are the Rams this legit, or are the Bucks just not there as a team at this point in the season? Antonio Brown's out. They have a couple secondary players out. Are they not there yet, or are the Rams that legit?
I mean, you can definitely add both of those in there. I mean, the Bucks didn't have full offense. Antonio Brown, obviously, he decided to show up this year to play for the Bucks. We'll see how long that lasts. He might get arrested or do something stupid as usual. But the Rams are the best-looking team in the NFL right now.
By far, bar none.
Every spot, they're moving the ball. Their defense is consistent. They play as a team. But
well, I think the McVay and Matthew Stafford combination is something that the NFL has been missing for the last 14 years or however long Stafford's been in the league.
Matthew Stafford just wasted his time in Detroit. It wasn't
it's
up to
an
him.
Absolute delight to watch them combine. I love it.
He's got options.
To watch them collaborate and Jared Goff's okay. He's kind of the similar style as Matthew Stafford. Obviously not nearly as talented.
Nowhere
But
near.
Matthew Stafford just fits McVay's beliefs in his system perfectly. Build off play action. A bunch of 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, single back. Fits it perfectly. Puts the ball on the line. Hit Deshaun Jackson in stride about 58 yards, 60 yards in the air last night.
Deshaun Jackson?
Oh, my God.
How is he still in the league?
But I also will say this. As much as I think the Rams are legit and they're my pick to win the Super Bowl earlier in the year, I also think, and I heard Emmanuel Acho say this on Fox today, it was a good point. This was basically the Rams' prove-it game. Like, prove that you can hang with the big boys, prove that you're a contender. Well, meanwhile, the Bucs are like, okay, we're coming off a Super Bowl. These guys are a threat to us, yeah, but like they're looking at the long run. They're looking at the bigger picture. Like, obviously we want to win every game we can, but it's not a Super Bowl for us. Our Super Bowl is in however many weeks. As to where the Rams are saying, we need to prove that we are here for good, and we're a challenger, and we need to go out and lay it to them tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
No, I agree.
It's a good point. It definitely meant something more to the Rams.
Oh, by far. But
definitely did.
It doesn't matter. The Bucs, they have Tom Brady. That dude can go.
He looked good, too.
They'll take the damn wild card game and
good.
they'll show up because they got such a talented team.
I think Gronk had a big drop in the first half that could have changed the game.
He also took some hits.
Yeah, he did.
He took some hits. Coming out of off of retirement, he's probably thinking about, I wish I was sitting in that goddamn lawn chair right now, relaxing instead of getting smoked. They're using him way more.
Well,
they're using Gronk way more.
The Rams are one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, but they're going to back that way up. Gronk's going to take
70%
of the snaps that he has.
I also think he scored 4 touchdowns through his first 2 games. Defenses, especially defensive coaches like the Rams,
they're going
to center their game plan around Rob Gronkowski.
Big touchdown runs. They were within the 10-yard line. Brady just being smart.
That's what I'm saying. You get down in the red zone, the defense is just going to key on Gronk and say, hey, I don't care.
And that's fine. You got
6'5"
Mike Evans right there.
Yeah.
Gronk can still catch the ball with 2 people
and Godwin. All right, let's move on. So to the last topic, another panic question. Is it time to press the panic button on the Kansas City Chiefs? Yes or no?
Hell no. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They got Patrick Mahomes. I don't care. That guy can make magic happen out of nothing. Travis Kelce's been playing pretty consistent. So, as long as he's still there, I think the Kansas City Chiefs got a chance with both of those 2 working together. Tyreek Hill, they haven't been doing much deep ball with him, I think.
He's been fun. He's had fumble issues, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire has had fumble issues.
Yes, that is a huge. Look at Kareem Hunt. That's another point. I want to bring up Kareem Hunt on the Browns. Discount running back at that point, showing up 11 carries, I think, for 84 yards. for nothing because he is a criminal, but we'll get past that. But back to the Chiefs. I'm not panicking at all. I think they're in the best division in the NFL. They got nothing to worry about that. They're going to get a wild card.
Whoa. What did you just say?
Best division in the NFL.
Who? Who's
Chiefs?
The AFC West, the best division in the NFL, dude. Like, do you think about what you just said, bro? Think about what you just said.
What do you think is the best division?
The NFC West, and it's not close. Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals.
No.
What?
I think the Chiefs and the Chargers can beat any team in the league. The Broncos, look at them. Their defense is phenomenal.
Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers. There's not one bad team in that division.
There isn't. But the Chiefs can beat any team in the league. The Chargers can beat any team in the league. The Broncos are proving themselves that they can beat any team in the league.
Okay, so you're basing it off of. Are you saying they're, in your opinion, they're the best in the league, or right now statistically they're the best in the league?
No, not statistically, in my opinion. This is my opinion.
Oh my God, that's bad.
Stats mean nothing to me.
That's a bad opinion.
I go with who wins.
So you're telling me the lineup of Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals is not as intimidating to you. Let me put it this way. You're going to tell me Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, and Jimmy Garoppolo is not as scary as Pat Mahomes, Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater.
Don't worry about Teddy Bridgewater.
He's a game manager. He's not going to win you games.
I'm not saying that, but their defense will.
I mean, their defense is good.
If your defense is that good, you can be a game manager and make it work.
What about the Rams and Niners defense in the AFC West?
The Rams defense is phenomenal. The Niners defense is not doing as great as people think.
I mean, they just played Aaron Rodgers and held him to what, 20-something points?
Aaron Rodgers, the half-retired mullet man.
He's still the reigning MVP, Gavin?
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Oh, my Lord. All right, well, I have a couple points to make about the Chiefs. We got a little off track there.
Sure.
My point about the Chiefs is no, I agree. It's not time to panic. I think the Chargers are legit. I think Brandon Staley, the new head coach for the Chargers, had a great defensive game plan. I think Mahomes coming out and throwing 2 picks. Meanwhile, Edwards-Helaire fumbles. Tyreek Hill fumbles. When do you ever see a 4-turnover game from the Kansas City Chiefs?
One of those picks was dumb. That was Patrick Mahomes' fault.
Right. No, I didn't say they weren't.
Yeah, but you don't look the ball, you throw it. What the hell is that?
That's
like, you've done it before.
Right.
But
I agree. But Pat Mahomes, when do you ever see a 4-turnover game from the Kansas City Chiefs? You never see it. And it was still a 1-possession game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's how good they are. That's what I'm saying. It's not time to panic. That's how good they are. They're not going to turn the ball over 4 times, probably not even 2 times, half of that every game. Edwards-Helaire went 16 games without a fumble last year. Tyreek Hill hasn't fumbled, I'm pretty sure. I didn't think he's fumbled in his last, I saw a stat, it's been his last 15 games. Something like that. So they don't turn the ball over much.
Patrick Mahomes doesn't throw picks either.
They don't. And credit to Brandon Staley and that Chargers defense for forcing the turnovers, but, this might be an outlier game. I don't think this is going to continue. I know they're one bad snap from losing to the Browns and being 0-3. I don't think it's time to panic. I will never panic as long as Pat Mahomes is on the field.
Exactly.
I don't like Clyde Edwards-Helaire to fit that system.
Hell no.
I think he's a good runner. He runs hard. I just think he doesn't move well between the tackles. He doesn't see the holes well.
Nope.
So I'm not going to panic. They also just signed Josh Gordon today. Did you see that?
Did they?
You didn't know that?
No.
He just got reinstated by the NFL today.
I know he got reinstated.
They signed him to their practice squad.
Well, there you go.
They're looking to move him up within 3 weeks, get him more in shape.
They said that they said he's in good shape. He hasn't stopped working out.
Dude,
getting ready
Josh
to play.
Gordon, I don't know if you remember, but his
I
prime
remember.
days with the Browns, he was on pace to be the best receiver in the league that year.
I
think he had 3 games of 200 yards back to back.
His stint with the Pats, he played decent. He got 20-yard gains every time he got a
There's
catch.
no doubt about it. He's one of the best talents in the league. All right, so we got to move on. We're running out of time here.
In the league.
Yes, we're running out of time here. Surprise of the week, briefly. What was your surprise of the week Week 3 of the NFL season?
My surprise is how bad the damn Steelers are. Are you kidding me? Big Ben, respect him. Great career.
Does not surprise me.
But the alcohol porn addiction has caught up to him. He has got to get his ass
Or
off
his
the field.
arm surgery in 2019.
It's alcohol porn addiction that really gets to me.
That too.
That dude's got to get off the field. He looks like he hurts to throw the
Yeah,
ball.
I'd give Dwayne Haskins
He
a chance.
can't move.
It's time.
He's just, come on, get him off the field. He should just do the right thing and take a seat. Say he's injured, at least go out like.
Well, he's not going to do that. It's his last year.
It's got to be his last year. No one's gonna. There's no way they start him. Going on that, I think Mike Tomlin's still a good coach. I just think their offense can't move the ball, and I think that Ben Roethlisberger's got to take a seat. But they're not going to bench him.
I agree.
They can't do that with what he's done for that team and that organization. Whatever.
I'm pretty sure he threw the ball behind the line more often than he threw it past the line of scrimmage. I think it's a real
It looks
stat.
like he's shot putting the ball half the time. It looks like he's arm forward.
It looks bad. So my surprise of the week, I mean, I guess it's not really a surprise, but it's kind of like, when is this going to stop? I guess until the Jets win. But my surprise of the week is the difference in media coverage between Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson goes out there, throws 4 picks against the Patriots. He's the headline on every single show on sports TV, including our first podcast episode. He's the headline. Mac Jones goes out there against a defense that's not as good as the Patriots. Obviously, you can't play the Patriots, but it's not as good as the Patriots. Saints are middle of the pack. Throws 3 picks. Not one talk show today. I work from home, so I watch it while I'm working. Not one show even talked about the Patriots today. Didn't even mention it. Didn't even mention it. Didn't show his stat line or anything. Didn't even show it.
It's a double standard.
It's a double standard. It makes no sense to me. Everyone likes to beat up on the Jets. I get it. They're the shit team of the NFL. They might be forever until the day I die. I get it. But
probably true.
Zach Wilson had nothing to do with the previous 50 years of Jets history. He deserves the same kind of media coverage that Mac Jones gets. Regardless of their franchise history, they weren't there for it. That's my take, and it makes me very angry. Happens every year. All right, so we're going to finish. We're almost done. We're going to finish. We're going to give our top 5 NFL power rankings, 1 through 5, debate for a little bit, and wrap the show up. Go ahead. Give your top 5, Gav.
Rams number 1 for obvious reasons. We discussed those. Bills number 2 because their defense is playing great. We'll give Kyle that one. And Josh Allen's also playing phenomenal. I got the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert a lot. I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback, long career. The Bucks, I'm not worried about the game yesterday.
The Bucks are number 5 on your list?
They're number 4 on my list.
Oh, I can't count. Wow.
Bucks are consistent. I think they're going to get the ball rolling. They have a team that you can't really argue about how good they are on paper or watching them. They play phenomenal when they need to. Yesterday's game, I mean, they played the Rams. The Rams are good. It's early in the season. Like Kyle said, they'll get the ball rolling. They'll figure it out before we get deep into it. And then number 5, I got the Raiders. Yes, they scared me yesterday. They didn't play very well. But it was stupid mistakes, stupid little nuances that really caused them to suffer. But I'm sure they'll get it figured out. And they're in a very good division. They'll get the ball running.
Yeah, the best division in the NFL.
It is. They're playing the Chargers next week. We're going to see what happens with that. That is my game of the week next week.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make it short and simple. I have the Rams number 1, obvious reasons. I have the Bucks still at number 2. Yes, they lost to the Rams. They're missing Antonio Brown. He's a decent piece. They're missing a lot of secondary defenders. I think the Rams are just that legit. I can't knock the Bucks for it. Tom Brady still looked good. I have the Bills at number 3. The Bills are legit. And Jared, if you're watching this, it's time that you finally acknowledge the Bills are legit, no matter how much you hate them being a Steelers fan.
Yeah, kick rocks.
They are legit. They have the highest point differential in the league at plus 50. That's absurd. I still have the Chiefs at 4.
They're playing garbage teams.
And this is probably baffling, but I still have the Chiefs at 4. And I'm not ready to rule them out, regardless of being 1 and 2. I still think, especially adding Josh Gordon, he's going to be here in 3 weeks. He's going to be ready to play. I'm not worried about the Chiefs. They will figure it out. They'll figure it out. And then I have the Chargers at 5. For obvious reasons, Justin Herbert, I had him winning Rookie of the Year last year, after Joe Burrow got hurt, of course, but I told everybody he was better than Tua. I'm on the Chargers bandwagon, and I left off the Packers, and I left off, obviously, his beloved Raiders. My game of the week is going to be the Bucks Patriots, Tom Brady going back into Gillette Stadium. You're going to shed a tear, and I cannot wait. You might already be crying right now. Are you shedding a tear right now?
I'm going to get violent.
Yeah, so... All right, thanks for watching.
And my score.
Oh, you're right.
My score. The outcome percentage is a 9. That's good. It's good. I'm going to give it a 7-4.
7-4.
Voodoo Ranger Imperial. It's by New Belgium. 7-4. You heard it here.
I'm going to go get some pre-workout, and maybe I'll give you a rating on that. Thanks for watching. We'll be back by Thursday with our Week 4 outlook. Thank you.